Hello folks, well now we're gonna talking about, well, this is just a subject that I have seen before. You know, the day where my stepbrother took his mom's Mercedes Benz, a C-Class, and then we all thought, yeah, I know there's Mercedes Benz car or vehicles made outside Germany, probably Austria, and in the US, but I think it's now time with a limit of critically claim quality cautious nation. The US, okay, we might want it. Yeah, Mercedes Benz is a Mercedes Benz, right? But unfortunately, this C-Class was made in a poor country. Well, well, where is it? Yeah, a Mercedes Benz made in South Africa. South Africa. How much do they have to pay that much for, petty change to make a car that costs too much money? Well, this is more like, but of criticizing of a worker, it would say that judging by the color of their skin, that all these workers, I would imagine all these workers are black, right? So it's not just because stereotypical, yeah, they're only known for great athleticism or something like that. Well, the main reason I'm saying that when I read this article on the net about exporting South African built Mercedes Benz to the US, yeah, we might not care, but it's made to Mercedes Benz top quality standards. That means superior than Japan. That's right. Germans tend to be built vehicles with superior quality than the Japanese. But now there's the criticism in something. Well, I heard of SsangYong. SsangYong is actually a Korean company that, even though Mercedes-Benz, Daimler should bought the whole thing, that means there's an idea to see where the heck is the beef against Koreans. Let me tell you what, it is because Hyundai is getting a good reputation, and what else do they need to know? If I was Daimler, that's what, screw getting all the Mercedes-Benz from exporting Mercedes-Benz built in South Africa. And yeah, guess what? I think building Mercedes-Benzes in South Korea would be a better option. It's like saying, hey, you know what? They make better, we make better cars than you guys, and boom, here you go. Why? It tends to look for intensity. Well, it was trying to compare Samsung and LG in the electronics industry, what they are. They're like Korean built Mercedes-Benz sold in Japan. Yeah, alright, good idea. Never thought of this, never thought about it. Why? Because Mercedes-Benz makes top quality cars, while German ingenuity and efficiency out-tops the Japanese, even if it's going to be built in Korea. Let's say this. It is like saying General Motors, a US-based auto company, yes, kill out the Daewoo brand. Well, it is known as an American company, but you cannot top German engineering. That's the main thing. What it is. Sometimes these companies, I'm gonna tell them reverse or copied from others or embraced from there. It's like, I'm just trying to say, Hyundai and Kia, what have they embraced this? I think they have to embrace this engineering technology from Germany to improve their cars, and they went up the ladder. Japanese envy on their companies like Toyota and and Honda and Nissan and Subaru and whichever Japanese auto companies, they could make good cars. But unfortunately, the greatness of German engineering have been embraced to Korean auto companies. And this is where it is. They used to make, let me tell how they used to be. Back then, when this bringing out Korean cars in the United States, they were performing like cars from the former Yugoslavia. Remember Yugo? Those Hyundais, the early Hyundais, actually did perform like Yugos. You go, you stop, and then you throw away. Boom. Gone. It's garbage. In the dumpster. Yeah, that's where these XLs and Hyundais are sharing together in the same collector's item, in the same junkyard. Why? Because the first Hyundai suck until they improve. Well, on the other hand, you have this company, I don't know if I went to South America, but SsangYong used to build these cars with a Mercedes Benz engine. Well, that right there, that's embracing Mercedes Benz ingenuity. And then what this company would do, either way, they might have to collaborate with a Korean company, or they have to like get SsangYong and purchase it and kill the SsangYong brand, like General Motors did kill the Daewoo brand. But in other mentions that I don't know what happened, but I'm getting a little sore. But I don't know what happened is the plan is for Daimler is for if you've seen Daimler's plan, is that, you know, if it is of cutting costs of Hyundai has stopped their sales in Japan and brought up exports. This is more like an envy. You know what? This is like people in Japan. Oh, like these cars are made by bugs or by roaches or something. Well, this is a bad criticism for people or for the haters saying, "Oh yeah, Hyundai sucks. We're number one. We're Honda and Nissan and Hyundai's considered garbage." Garbage. Let me tell you what. There is a solution to the problem to solve this mind mentality. Is it like saying, here in America, who gives a crap where some Mercedes Benz is built? All we know is that studying the company, whatever, they have used the best engineering ever, and their cars, even though they are expensive to fix it, if even great maintenance and everything, their cars reach up to top engineering quality standards. They up to higher standards. You know, you cannot top German engineering in this kind of field. But what Daimler would do to sell all these Mercedes Benz vehicles in Japan will be built in Korea. Why built in Korea? It is more like an entrance to the market that saying, hey, who's gonna freaking hate on Korean built cars? They're not gonna be Hyundais, there'll be a Mercedes Benz, but hey, there's a solution to give it out this K-pride using about, yeah, dramas, alright, K-dramas, alright, yeah, that is like saying exporting Korean built Mercedes Benz to be sold only in Japan. Put it that way, and let me just face it. And for whatever it is, for what will happen in the future, or what will they do, is that all these Mercedes Benz vehicles sold in Japan will be built at a SsangYong, former SsangYong, if it's Mercedes, Daimler buy it and SsangYong is dead, built in South Korea, or have a facility in South Korea by Daimler just only to build Mercedes Benz sold in their home market to be exported to Japan also in part of the US, starting with the G class. I could remember this. The G class is built outside Germany, built in Europe, built in Austria. Yeah, and this is where it is. The G class will be exported to Japan, a Korean built G class. That's one of the first cars that is used by the Japanese police as an SUV, probably used by the Japanese military and stuff, but it is going to be built in South Korea, exported to Japan, sold there in their home market in South Korea for their own military. This will be given out like this. Even what else? The C class, the E class, the D class, and whichever, probably except for the Sprinter or Transporter might be brought from Germany, but the rest of the other cars, I mean Mercedes Benz vehicles sold in Japan, will be built in Korea, built in South Korea. And in a way, commercially, for Mercedes Benz, you have Psy and these Mercedes Benz workers from that Korean facility dancing the Gangnam Style. And that'll be like it is. And let me tell you what it is. The G class might be superior quality than a Japanese built Land Cruiser, better built than a Land Cruiser, and let me tell you why. It might be built in Korea, sold for Japan, but it's superior quality. It's German engineering. You cannot top German engineering in all sizes, no matter what. Not even a Lexus. But let me tell you why it is. It is to break through, to cut off the line between the love and hate of Korean stuff in Japan, love and hate of cutting this line, cutting the borders, or let me say, cutting their boundaries of whatever it is. It will be critical, and it will be hard that if we would stop of these certain models that are built in Germany and some in China and stuff, that these South Korean built Mercedes Benz models probably sold here in North America were German built, some US built, only one built in Austria, that in Japan they're Korean built, and to the specifications that none of them, or probably 1% of the vehicles, of Mercedes-Benz vehicles sold in Japan is German built, while the rest is Korean built. Why is this? Just to break this barrier between, why? Because these cars, I tell you what also, these Mercedes-Benz vehicles built in Korea will be sold in their home market in South Korea, but these that are specially built in Korea are only sold for the Japanese market. Maybe we could just have the G-Class sold here in the United States, but hey, look at this. I'm just trying to break away in this mind of thinking to open up their heads. You know, not all Japanese folks, but some of them that are very ignorant, that saying that Koreans can't make better cars than the Japanese. Mercedes Benz show they could build better cars than the Japanese. They'll make them better than the Japanese. Guess what? You know what? This is more like I'm saying. Let me put you away, you folks that you freaking hating on the LG brand. The LG brand is more like a Mercedes Benz built in South Korea and is better built than your cars that are built in Japan. Why? Because German engineering is top engineering and out-tops the Japanese, and that's the truth. And this is why you have the G-Class and all these Mercedes Benz models that once were built in Germany and one could be South Africa, that sooner or later, if it's a plan to do, and it's a plan for Daimler to do it, if Daimler's watching this, the plan is either build a facility in South Korea or buy the SsangYong brand, kill SsangYong, put Daimler Korea, but these Korean built cars will be sold for Japan. Could include just cars will be sold in South Korea for the home market, homegrown Mercedes Benz in South Korea. They'll be great. It's like selling Mercedes Benz built in the United States for the United States market. You know, after all, I'm just saying this. This is more like a love-hate relationships, that we need to break barriers and then we want to sing together. Forget about this. You know, people, you know what? People, you think that you're perfect and you freaking think you're better than anybody else. You know, especially for the Japanese, that I know we love you and I love your country, I love your culture. It's time to change your mind. It's time to change your mind to look that there's people that could make better way than that you could learn, and then you says, wow, we have to catch up, we gotta make it better, we gotta make better. You know, you even make a car that could cost same price of a Mercedes Benz, but it drives like a Rolls Royce. Look where I'm going through, you know. But after all, it's like, this is what it is. You learn from others, but not to criticize. This is why I'm just saying it is called Mercedes Benz made in Korea. But I'm just saying that's the name of the video, and then I got it in my mind. Mercedes Benz made in Korea. That means that after all, selling German built Mercedes Benz, buying the SsangYong brand, Daimler buying the SsangYong brand, or probably, I don't know how fix up or whatever it is, because for making the G class and then the S class and then all these Mercedes Benz models sold for Japan. These German built Mercedes Benz sold for Japan will be over, because none of them sold in Japan. None of the Mercedes Benz sold in Japan will be built in Germany. Starting with the C class, but none of them will be built in Germany, not even in South Africa. All these Mercedes Benz cars, except for the transporter van, the sprinter van called in the rest of the world, will be built in Germany. All these cars sold in Japan from Mercedes Benz. When Mercedes Benz decided to, Daimler, the company that made Mercedes Benz, decided to make these cars in Korea, will be that instead of selling the German built ones, that all these cars that are built in Korea, that is for export will be only sold for Japan. Probably the G will be sold in the United States, but these, even Austria, not even the G-Class will never, the ones that sold in Japan will never be made in Austria, but the ones that sold in Japan will be made in South Korea. Will be like made in South Korea, exported to Japan, and diesel says, well, they have the South Korean Mercedes Benz plants, or when Sangyang be bought by Mercedes Benz and Sangyang brand is dead, that these cars that are built in South Korea with the steering wheel on the wrong side, like the German built sold for Britain and Ireland, will be, but the Korean built ones will be these are export for Japan only. Japan only cars. These are like the lineup of the Japan only cars built out of Mercedes Daimler facility in South Korea will be sold for Japan. And that could include the G, including the G series, the G series SUV van. Probably it might do better or the same as a factory in Germany, but at least this G-Class will be sold for the Japanese police. Yeah, that one, or yeah, it's one for especially for the Japanese SWAT team or something like that. And those will be built in South Korea, especially those sold for probably Japanese special force, whatever, G-Class, built in South Korea also. But this is what it is. These are, like I'm saying, a Mercedes Benz that are made in Korea will be also sold for Korea. Probably one model, the G-Class, will be sold here in the United States instead of bringing it from Austria. But the rest of these Korean-built Mercedes-Benz will be only sold for Japan. For the main purpose is to, like, these are the Japan-only cars lines. So that means that the Japanese will think about it. Japanese customers in Japan will say, how the heck are we going to buy a Mercedes-Benz built in South Korea? Only it is to show that if these Mercedes-Benz, Korean-built Mercedes-Benz, will outperform those precious Toyotas and Hondas and Nissans and other Suzuki and other Japanese manufacturers cars built in Japan. Even though we have factories in the United States, but it is what it is. This Land Cruiser might be messed up, but this Mercedes-Benz this Korean-built Mercedes-Benz G series in the future might outperform a Japanese-built Land Cruiser. You know, but after all, just peace out and stop hating. You know, open up your eyes, people. I mean, we all know that Mercedes-Benz meant to be built quality, but for Japanese folks, open up your eyes. If these guys would use German engineering, I think these techniques will make better than the cars built in Japan, because we know that you're gonna realize, and I know, and everybody else knows, you're gonna realize that they're not that stupid. Don't call them bugs or whatever, because seriously, don't even make Volkswagen jokes, because that is more like a criticism and, you know, hurting people's feelings. Because I think, you know, you remember this, the Volkswagen Beetle looks like a cockroach, right? So no, since a German guy of Korean descent will call a Volkswagen referring to the Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, Volkswagen bugs because it looks like a cockroach, right? But that's a bad joke. That's bad criticism. So once you see a Mercedes-Benz built in Korea, sold in Japan, and wondering, yeah, these Korean guys make better cars than us. Why? Because German engineering is far superior, and then you'll understand why. So see you later, and please Don't hate. Peace out. Because why? Because we are all people. In other words, I'm saying we are all God's children in my belief system, or like some people that do believe that there is a God. Yes, we are all God's children. Goodbye.